Today is Wednesday, October 22nd, 2025. Welcome to the Survivor Fans Podcast. I'm Jawann.
And I'm Stacy.
And this is our recap of Survivor 49, Week 5.
This episode's titled, I'm a Wolf, Baby. Spoken by Sage. They gave that away in the next time on Survivor last week. Yeah. Previously on Survivor, we see Jawann has used Savannah's bag, foreshadowing more usage of Savannah's stuff to come. And then we see the Hina tribe coming into the challenge with their cheer, Hina, Hina, Hina. And Rizo responds, so cringe. Steven declares, we've got 4 Hina and 2 Uli, so if it comes down to it, if we need to, it's either going to be Sage or Shannon. And Rizo similarly declares, hey, if we go to tribal, it's going to be Jason or Matt, and Matt's out. All right, we're back at the new Hina tribe beach on night 8 after that tribal council. Jason declares, I am thankful to be here, and I hope to get to know you all better.
Now he wants to talk.
A little behind, but okay. Good job. Doing the damage control. That's good.
And he has a lot of work to do. Mm-hmm. So I know you should have started sooner.
Yeah. He's concerned. He was able to read the writing on the wall quite clearly. He said only Matt and me got votes, so yeah.
But Savannah is living her Survivor dream, and
she wants to give him a group hug. Yeah.
And then she tells us, but he gave us no choice.
Nothing to worry about, she declares. Doesn't get any better than this.
All right. Still night 8 over at
If
Kele.
necessary, Jason will be the one that goes, she says, next.
Oh, okay.
As they feature Jason going to sleep on the beach by himself. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. He's isolated.
I don't even know where I was now.
Okay. Night 8 over at New Kele.
Kele, yes. Shannon is in self-preservation mode.
Under the stars.
Is it she always?
Yep. Yeah. And then we began a little bit of a montage where she goes around telling everybody that she really likes him.
Well, but she's telling Steven this whole theory of, we get 2 Uli and 2 Hina and 2 Kele and blah, 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 blah. And
we'll have a core 6 to run the game.
Person to person to person to person.
I loved his response. His confessional response, which was, okay, but can I get a coffee first?
Yeah.
You're dumping all this on me? So she was up watching the stars and scheming, and she just hits him with this as soon as he's awake.
He's like, well, I said yes, but it's just too early to talk.
Yeah.
Then, of course, she goes right on to Alex and then Kristina.
Telling us that they are just hungry, thirsting to talk about strategy because that is the love language in Survivor.
Yes.
And oh, by the way, she's ready to vote out Sage first.
Yeah, anytime, no problem.
Mm-hmm. And you're the closest person. That's her tagline. She tells everybody, I'm closest to you too, or I'm closest to you. And wow, is she being authentic.
And then Steven and MC talk and go, yeah, she talking to everybody and we cannot trust her. And then they tell
Steven's
Kristina,
guiding all this, right? Each one of these exchanges. He's the one who flips everyone on her.
Yeah. Even it looked like, that might have been working even on Kristina because
Well, it was definitely working on Kristina.
And said the same thing. And I really thought she would dig in, but she didn't. She thought, well, I really am drawn to her and I like her and all, but, I got to separate my heart from my head thing here. And so I really respected that.
Yeah, that Kristina let let go, because it
Yeah.
did seem like Shannon had her deep already.
And, she did realize, wow, she is playing really hard. Mm-hmm. So, well, at least she's more, I think, aware, and she may start to look at the things she says to her a little bit differently, because, you can't unhear what you heard.
Yeah, it was really MC. Stephen talked to MC. MC made a turn and realized that she even said she admired the way Shannon was playing, and it would have been similar to what she would do.
If she wasn't using it against me.
Yeah.
And my alliance. Okay, back over to Hina on day 9.
2-day cycle here, primarily, right? Day 9 and 10
Yep.
for this episode.
And Jason's out in the ocean and on the beach alone again.
Tells us he's in between a rock and a hard place, and a rock and a hard place, and a rock.
And that he is on the outs, but it's up to him to change it. Mm-hmm. And he's going to get in there and just erase all tribe lines and get along with. He gets along with Jawann, and they're both nerds, and he's just going to turn this thing around.
That was a great nerd off. I enjoyed their exchange where
was.
they were talking about the Pokemon. Yeah, and Jawann, he could tell what was up. It seems like Jawann oscillates between being clueless and then being dialed in. And he yo-yos a lot.
Sure. I'm not sure about him at all.
You can't read his face at all, I don't think, because you're not getting anything off his face other than like utter confusion.
I just don't know what this whole fixation thing with Savannah's things is.
Yeah, that's weird too.
That's not normal. I don't think that it's an accident. It's just too weird.
Well, it's only 2 times, but still.
Oh.
Yeah.
It feels like more than that.
Well, it does feel that way, but she's clearly stated that it's only happened twice.
Well,
I like that he played it off pretty well. She said...
Did he, though?
Yeah, he did. She said, I like my stuff. And he said, yes, I like your stuff, too. I thought that was perfect response. Meanwhile, she's saying in confessional about how agitated she is with the whole process.
Well, and Jawann really has encouraged Jason, and I think he really likes him. But then he tells the camera, "Yeah, but we're a solid 5, and oh well, Jason's on the bottom. Not if Savannah had her way."
Yeah.
But anyway, okay. I can't say I'm enjoying Jawann's gameplay, or Jason's either for that matter. So okay, back over to Kele. They're crabbing, Sage and
Alex.
Alex
ends up grabbing one. Yep.
And Shannon, Sage is still watching Shannon working people. Mm-hmm. She just, I don't know, there's something about her. She does get funny after a while, just like in the next on when, they're like, oh yeah, kiss.
Yeah, she's definitely watching Shannon closely. And she says she can read their mouth, what they're saying to each other as Shannon's heaping praise onto Alex and his ability to catch crabs.
That was a bit much. And the touchy.
Well, Sage has clocked her for sure. She finds out what they want to hear and she gives it to them in abundance. I like the shark with the seal face too. It's so obvious, Sage says. Well,
and, Alex saying, oh, Shannon was the first to talk strategy with me. I think he was really getting into, oh, yeah. And then Stephen comes up and like, she's talking to everyone, dude.
Mm-hmm. Stephen undid that one too.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I thought I was special. It's like, no, you're just one of the crowd. So,
what did you think about how Sage handled it when she was talking to Stephen and Alex?
Oh, I thought she handled it just fine.
Yeah.
She's like, really? I mean, can I talk honestly? And, you really see it?
I thought that was a good hook to use. Actually, her first hook, yeah. Her first hook was telling them she was having FOMO. She was having fear of missing out. Mm-hmm. That's what got him over to actually have the conversation there at the shelter. Yeah, and then she was just ecstatic that they were able to see through Shannon's ploys.
Well, and they gave her
Under her
permission
spell.
to totally go off on Shannon because, they gave it up that she's already said she'll vote you out, no problem.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, Stephen told Sage, she says you.
yep.
Back over to the Hina tribe, still on day 9. And we see Rizo talking about mukbang. Had you heard that term before?
No, never.
The ASMR food videos?
No.
I think I've come across it, but I can't say that I've ever watched one. I've heard of it referenced.
When have we had any time to watch anything much? Other than Survivor, of course.
All right, and then the boat shows up. It's time for a journey. Jason is all on board. He said, this is my ticket to a safe spot. He's going to try to get on that boat.
Okay. Didn't work, though, did it? His buddy Jawann fixed that for him. I wonder what he was feeling when he saw that. I mean, that's got to be kind of a kick in the gut.
Yeah, it's Survivor, too.
Oh, man.
But, yeah. Well, you could see Jawann talking about how he genuinely had some sympathy for him about how he'd been dealt a bad hand. So I don't know that it came off poorly.
He rigged it so he would lose anyway.
Yeah, that was surprising, huh?
Yeah, I was like,
he
really?
placed the rock on top, and he gave Nate the first choice, trying to encourage him to pick the rock.
That could have not worked at all because you could. I would move it around myself inside just to, to make it feel more random. So I probably would have destroyed all that, and he would have got it. But and Nate didn't want to go either. So that
he
was
just
a double
wanted to block
whammy.
Jason. Yeah,
He just didn't know us.
Doing the pros and the cons. Yeah.
It's like Nate would not thank you for that either. But
all right, so we get MC and Nate on a journey. What did you think of this journey with moving the sandbags? Big physical thing.
Okay, it was interesting and different, but boy, and then they send them into a heavy challenge after that. The next day, that was a lot of energy to expend. You don't recover, especially with
Nate.
Inadequate everything.
Well, in Nate's age.
Well, that too, and
he doesn't bounce back as quick as MC for sure.
Well, you never do the older you get, usually. Yep. Well, mostly. I won't say all the time.
I really liked how he handled that, how he minimized the possibility for her to get an advantage.
Yes.
He knew he didn't have the energy to get it, so
I can't do it.
Right.
No, I really did enjoy that.
That was clever.
It was very clever. And he is very clever. He's smart.
Yeah, and in spite of all that,
and he's so likable. That's
physical activity. He was able to reason that out.
Yes. And him chatting and trying to get to know her, and even she's like, I can barely breathe. Why is he talking? But then she kind of got into it, and so I thought he really is smart. I really appreciate that about him, even before the show started, and I thought about choosing him as a USB, but I didn't think anybody would let him get that far. But anyway, I like Nick.
That was a nice twist, too, with having an advantage that they had to risk losing their vote if they couldn't find it. And there was a way to keep your votes, for both of them to keep their votes, and there was a way to get an advantage.
Just keep our votes.
Yeah.
That's all we want.
Yeah. Nate called her back just a little early. She was a little suspicious when she saw how much sand was left in the hourglass. Yeah. But then she was also so tired that she was just like, oh, what the heck? Come on, let's just finish this.
Here's the question I have. She didn't have a vote because she's got an advantage, right? And
she doesn't have it.
Find the idol, so...
Yeah, she doesn't have it yet, but she did lose her vote.
Yeah, but now she got it back. So how does that work?
No, she just didn't lose another vote.
Oh, okay.
She would have been 2 down.
Okay. Because I was like, I wasn't sure how that was going to work out. But all right, I guess. Okay. I enjoyed that, by the way. So.
I think that's one of the best examples of someone managing the journey and working on establishing a bond with the other person or persons that you're there with. He did really well.
I think so too. And it might be to her advantage too later on. Who knows?
Yep.
But I really did like the way he was able to think on his feet, just really fast there, and especially since they were so exhausted and in the heat and all. All right, so MC tells her tribe what happened.
Mm-hmm.
And then why do you think Shannon got up and left?
I don't know. She might have had to go give a confessional.
Oh, okay. Well, Sage took advantage of that absence.
She did indeed.
And she said, hey, take out an Uli. I'll vote for her.
And I think more importantly, she shared that Rizo has an idol.
Yes.
And she shared the details around what he had to do to get it. Mm-hmm. And that was enough for MC
to recognize, because
right.
she knew that was indeed.
Sage was telling the truth when she heard that level of detail. And so now MC's, as far as she's concerned, she wants to keep Sage over Shannon.
Yes. Well, and then, of course, they follow that right up with Shannon talking about how Sage doesn't even talk strategy with anyone.
Yeah, that was a great contrast. I like that.
Yeah, I like that they're seeing that other side. Oh, you think you know it all.
Right, and Sage saying that she thinks of me as a wounded puppy.
Yeah. Well, she's playing into it beautifully. That's not always easy to do.
Mm.
You know, and all the faces she makes to give it up. She's managing that so that she doesn't get caught.
Yeah, this is when we get the title of the episode too.
Yep.
When Sage tells us she can tell she's lying to her.
Wolf, baby.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Why did Nate leave out the details about there being an advantage on that journey? I didn't understand why he chose to leave something out that just could cast doubt on him later.
I don't know. I didn't realize he did leave it out, actually.
That's the way it appeared to me. Yeah, that he didn't tell the whole truth.
Yeah, I don't know that it would have made really much difference to anybody. Or they just didn't want to show me, the whole thing. I didn't see it as significant, but I guess we'll find out if it becomes so.
This is sort of the third infraction for Jawann. There was the bag, Savannah's bag, then Savannah's water bottle, and now he's getting busted for eavesdropping.
Oh,
and
yeah.
They didn't realize when Sophie B and Savannah were talking in the shelter and somehow didn't realize he was there. That was how that was presented. Anyway, it just further makes him weird as far as Savannah's concerned.
Well, they did say that at least Jason got no advantage, so maybe he did talk about it. Because he said, when he was telling his story...
You're talking about Nate now?
Nate, and I think Jawann, they were saying he thinks they believe him, and that at least by him going, Jason got no advantage.
Right.
So... anyway, that's when Savannah starts going on about he's listening to all my conversations. Mm-hmm. And Rizo usually doesn't seem to engage so much in all of that, but even he was like, that's driving Savannah crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I think Nate is more the voice of reason, and even she would listen, but he was cracking up about it that, well, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, yeah, I could vote him out. He's causing me stress.
Right. Okay, on to the immunity/reward challenge. We're on day 10. Kele's got a new chant coming in.
Yep, they stepped it up a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Kristina sits out of the challenge. And did you notice her searching for clues under the bench?
Yeah, I made a note of that.
I like that. I like
Good
her
on
more
you,
and
Kristina.
more. I really kind of thought, Mom on vacation. She's not really here to play. And even though her husband told her she better bring the money home. So,
Mm-hmm.
But
Okay.
She has played.
So they got to swim to this big giant bamboo cage, and then they've got to retrieve a couple of poles they use to lift it so they can carry it up the beach. And you're supposed to get the sandbags off the corners that's holding it down.
Oh, and that's why Kele had so much trouble, because they didn't get one of the bags off on Alex's side.
They didn't seem to be having trouble until they realized that was there, because they were in the lead for a while. Nate's not on Kele.
Oh, that's right. I'm confused.
Okay, so they're going to move the big cage up the beach, and then one person's going to have to climb under. There'll be the rebounder, and then they have to shoot a ball into 3 baskets of 3 different heights. And if you do that, you win the reward. There's 3 hens and a rooster.
3 laying hens, 1 rooster, and 4 chickens.
Yep.
So, okay, that's worth having.
The lead passed back and forth from New Hina to New Kele, New Hina to New Kele. Stephen did get pretty irked that sandbag was still over there when they spotted it.
Yep.
But then they just went full steam and right up the beach.
Yeah, they all did really well, especially with
Kele was struggling.
Heat and the food and the lack of sleep and
I was surprised. I thought with just the 2 guys that New Kele was going to be, it was going to be harder for them to get there, but they actually ended up getting their big bamboo cage up there so they could
Oh, yeah. I never
start
thought
shooting
that at all.
before Hina did.
You said that, there's only 2 guys. And I said, yeah, but they've got girls that are... You don't think Sophie S. and MC is as strong as Rizo and Jason?
Maybe MC is, but no, I don't think Sophie S. is.
Jawann. I think she is. She's pretty strong. And Shannon's strong, too.
Mm-hmm.
And
well, it certainly worked in their favor. They got that momentum and got up there and sent Shannon they dug out from under so she could go through and be the rebounder. And they started shooting.
Yep. Well, really, either one of them could have won, I think.
And Nate was the one over on New Hina that was exhausted.
I really like that they did not do another puzzle. So it was, not just up to who's good at puzzles.
Mm-hmm. So there's no way for Jason to save himself.
Oh, true. I didn't think about that. But anyway, I enjoyed it. It wasn't...
Nate had a little bit of temper there when he was talking to Rizo, told him to shut up.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Well, he was struggling. Well, they had the slow-mo montage with the yelling and Hina coming together and Jawann calling out 1, 2, 1, 2 as they were moving the bamboo cage up the beach after they recouped for a little bit.
Well, that's what I mean, though. He had to do that brutal challenge the day before.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't recover from doing that to your muscles that quickly. Or I don't, for sure.
New Hina ended up sending Jason through under the cage there as they dug a path for him so he could be their rebounder.
Okay.
And Rizo did not hesitate. He went to the underhand shot. And then Alex did too, and he started landing them.
Yep. And then Alex gets the 3rd, and Hina loses.
Now, did Rizo hit Sophie B the way Prope said, or did the ball, when Jason threw it in, did the ball just hit her in the face?
I don't know. I heard him say it, but I
wasn't looking either.
We were both making a note, I guess, and we didn't think to go back and look at it.
Yep.
But anyway.
Probst declares that it was a massive effort by all, and this has certainly been one of the hottest sequences.
And he takes that time to talk about the heat and the toll it was taking on him, and he wasn't even playing.
Mm-hmm.
And then he questions Savannah. Why do you think he singled out Savannah?
Well, she's got a history as doing interviews for the news, being a news person, so they're letting her be a big storyteller this season because of that.
Yeah.
He loves people who can describe things and be the voice of the season.
Well, but she went into they're so hot and they're exhausted and they're tired of coconuts and some of these people can't even eat another coconut.
I guess that's Sophie B, yeah.
So anyway, that they're telling you they need some food there, Jeff. So it's time to start getting a few more food rewards and maybe something a little more than just the fruit. Not that they would turn that down, except for maybe Sophie. Okay.
So I thought they would go straight to Hina, but no, there's a little chicken episode that needs to happen. So when New Kele gets back, they've decided they're going to eat one of the chickens.
I don't blame them.
going to eat a rooster.
I was thinking about it and I thought, oh, just even broth off of the cooked chicken out there after all that time would
It'd
just
be huge.
be heavenly.
Yeah. Yep. It didn't even look like they had a lot of water in there. It looked like they were trying just to fry it, huh? Because it was all dark.
I thought they said they were going to put it on a spit or something.
Looked like they had it in the little pot in the Dutch oven thing they have.
However they could.
I loved what Steven said. I really didn't want farm chores after we just finished a grueling challenge.
Yeah.
It's not something you really think about when you're weighing what all you're going to have to go through.
Well, and how many people couldn't even be around when they were killing the chicken?
Well, pretty
They
much
could
all the
eat it,
women, they ducked right out of there. Yep. Left it to Alex and Steven to take care of it.
Yeah.
And Sage, I can't. She did not want to have anything to it. Sure you could. Yeah.
It's not like.
Well, it's not easy unless you're used to it.
No, but, I watched it done many a time. Mm-hmm. And Grandpa used to kill hogs, too, so.
Alex, talking about, I'm a DoorDash guy. This is not my thing.
Yeah.
People think I'm weak.
But he got out there and did it, so.
He did. Yep.
He helped.
Took a life to feed the tribe.
Well, that is hard. Even, you've had to do that when the dogs were threatened with a possum. But, and it was, even that was very difficult, even though you knew you had to put it out of its misery.
But that process gives you such a deep appreciation for the whole circle of life. I mean, it sounds like a cliche to say it that way, but and with what I went through when we were doing field skills, it wasn't anywhere near as long as this. It was 3 days that we hadn't eaten anything, just had water. And so when I killed that goat, and then we got to have that nourishment, and you could feel your body. It was like in a game where you could feel yourself powering back up when you got that protein and fat in your body. It was just such a game changer.
Well, it might have only been 3 days, but you were sleeping in the cold with nothing at all.
Yeah.
And nothing to put on the ground. You had to use whatever you could find and that kind of thing. And you were in constant motion.
Right. We're doing
hiking and moving and all day long. And
8 to 10 miles every day. Yeah. And at elevation. And yeah.
So, it was a little bit more that you weren't just sitting around not eating. Mm-hmm. A little bit more than that. But.
So maybe just a little taste of what they had gone through. Yep. Yeah. And when they got that nourishment, you could tell, like Sophie S. was saying, this is going to be a huge advantage.
All right.
All right. Now we go over to new Hina, who just lost the immunity challenge. And Sophie B. tells us that she is tired. And she is absolutely on empty. There is no gas in her tank now.
Who was it that they were talking to that kind of indicated that maybe they should take Sophie B? But Nate wasn't having any of it.
Well, he was commenting on how out of it she was.
I think it was Rizo, wasn't it?
I don't know. I don't see that in my notes. So.
Well, I can't remember. I remember somebody said something, but I thought Nate's. But she's one of us, kind of, and he just went right over it. But I thought they were hinting that, we could take her out. She's pretty wasted.
Well, he was commenting on how exhausted she was. So.
Yep. Who was? Rizo?
Nate.
Okay.
And then we see Rizo, Jawann, Nate, and Savannah all talking about focusing on Jason.
Yeah, and Jawann jumps right in, so, to make him feel comfortable so he won't play a shot in the dark. Mm-hmm. He didn't seem to have any problem deceiving him, even though he talked about how much he really liked him, but it didn't seem to really faze him.
Right.
To have to do that, so.
He didn't, we didn't see any big reaction from him either from Jawann when Jason said he wanted to target Rizo, right?
Right.
So how seriously did you consider the whole Jawann versus Jason thing that we were presented? Because Savannah was talking about how she was definitely considering it, given how he's behaved towards her and how much he aggravates her.
Well, I didn't feel any differently. I thought that Nate would would be the voice of reason, that, it was smarter for them to get rid of the last remaining Hina so that they would absolutely have the numbers.
Yeah, I thought that was easy, but she seemed to be weighing that it's going to be war because they will have given themselves the advantage.
Yeah, but okay, it's war, but you've got the
advantage.
What do you care? It's
Right.
like,
I didn't understand
that didn't
how
make
she
much
was.
sense to
Yeah.
me. It was just, I felt an emotional response, and, Nate laughed with her, and they talked about it and said, well, at some point, but then he guided her right back to, Jason's got to go. Why would they not go into a merge with 2 up if there's going to be a merge soon?
Yeah, it does seem like a no-brainer. Savannah did seem to do well at easing his mind, too, right? When she was talking about making him feel safe, because he offered such value to that old Hina tribe.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she was really
She seemed to like wind
to
him
be
up.
more genuine, that she was really still contemplating getting rid of Jawann and keeping Jason.
She gave him a great line, and Jason ran with it to his credit this time. He went around telling everyone, "Hey, I'll be your bridge to that old Hina group.
Well, I think
I'm the thread. I'm the bridge."
I think Savannah had convinced herself that it would create a problem, but I'm like, how, Savannah? If you vote Jason out, why would you not?
Right.
How's it going to cause a problem unless Shannon and Sage had flipped over? If you were uncertain about that, then I could see, but...
And she wanted Nate to make the call. She really didn't want the blood on her hands when she was talking to him.
Well, I guess he did then. So,
and
Jason it was.
Or Jawann, when she was talking to Nate.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she tells us she wants to keep her options open. She is not sure, and the whole deal with Jawann being the least loyal is part of what causes her to have that concern.
All right, Tribal Council, night 10.
Yep, Probst wants to revisit the exhaustion element.
Yep, and Rizo tells us, hey, if you have to have confidence to even apply to be on this show.
I don't believe that's true.
Well, he thinks it is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
And that all of this...
Or maybe, I guess, it can be false confidence. Maybe that's what I'm thinking about. There's definitely a lot of people who have completely deceived themselves, especially in the 40s.
Well, yeah, and then day one, it's like, what have I done?
Yeah.
Sometimes they've even said before they even got out there, just the pregame and everything that was going on, and they're going through things and dangers and this and that and the other, and having a little training with them. It's like, what have I gotten myself into?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I can do this. So, but anyway, Jawann was struggling again.
Yep, man, he's concerned given how well-spoken the others are.
Well, and I like that Jason said, hey, I'm really proud of myself that I'm not giving up. If I go fighting. Mm-hmm. And I thought, okay, good for you, Jason.
He acknowledged that Survivor had tested him, yes.
It did test you, and I don't think you did so good.
No.
But that's just my opinion.
Yep.
And, Nate backs it up that of course, we all want to be in alliance with people who are confident people. Mm-hmm. But he did, back Jawann up and support him as well.
Sweet kid. Nobody's perfect. We all make mistakes.
Right. We all do it. And we all have our moments. And
what was Jawann's big thing? It was just that he had doubt creeping in on him. And he was still holding on to it, I guess. I don't know. That seemed a bit all overblown.
Well, I thought Sophie B was just kind of out of it. She was, talking about
the tsunami coming and the strong swimmers will survive.
The weak
strong
players will drown and the strong ones will survive. Yeah.
Swim to beach. Yeah.
Yep. So
it looked like Savannah was taking her pulse at one point when they were going up to vote. Did you see that?
No, I did not. But the vote we had.
Yeah, no idols, no advantages. So they did a good job containing Jason, assuming he even remembered that he had a shot in the dark to play. So we catch one. Rizo gets the one vote, and then the rest are for Jason. It was unanimous. He is out. Probst noted that he was still smiling, though. And I liked what Jason said. Hey, this is 10 days more than I thought I would have as an alternate. That was good.
Yep.
Okay, so what did you think about this one? Was it utterly predictable?
Not for me. I didn't get a vote on.
I didn't either. I got suckered into the other side.
Yeah, I did.
I was just sure that New Kele was going to lose because of just the two guys and the buildup between, this battle, the confrontation between Sage and Shannon. I thought we would get some resolution for that this episode.
Yeah, I kind of thought so too. And
had Shannon going.
I remember thinking when we're having to make picks early and so we don't forget and that kind of thing. But I remember thinking, well, I'm picking Shannon because that's what I want. So it was kind of just that simple for me. I was like, yeah, got to make some picks. Here we go. Yeah, no, I'm going to put Shannon.
It was kind of the contrasting stories to how it was laid out, too. There's Sage and Shannon on New Kele. Which one of them's it going to be? And initially, Shannon is doing really well in making these connections. And then Sage is observing, and you can see that shift happening. Now everybody's on to Shannon, and Shannon's on the outs, it looks like, there.
Okay.
And then, like you said, the Jason Jawann thing.
All right, enough of that. Next on.
Oh, okay.
What the heck?
Three tribes of four.
We got a new game, Jeff says. New tribes, we got a new game.
This just seems like a horrible idea. I do not enjoy tiny tribes. Maybe they'll be...
Tiny tribes, that's a good name for it.
Yeah.
The tiny tribes.
Three tribes of four just seems... No. What are you thinking?
And how long are they going to have that? I mean...
Just one round.
I would hope so.
Yeah.
But who knows? They switching that up. That wasn't how I wanted them to switch it.
No, so Uli is back. You can see in that part of the challenge where new Uli is Kristina, Alex, Nate, and we're thinking Sophie S. is the fourth, right?
Which one? The
new Uli. The show
Kristina, Alex, Nate, and Sophie S is what we think. Yes.
Okay. Yep. And then you can see where Jawann is there when someone lets a chicken out on, what would that be? New Kele? She get New Hina and New Kele and then new Uli. And so you got Jawann, and it looked like Steven was there trying to catch the chicken.
Blue 3.
Yeah. And
red
we weren't sure who the woman was that was standing there with him. Maybe she's the one who lets go of the chicken. It looked like it might be Shannon.
Yeah, maybe. I noticed there was at least one
blue.
yellow bag, which Stephen would have had, and there were 2 red bags.
That we could see on the ground there.
Yeah. So, but
I think
no clue on the other.
That exchange with Sage and Shannon is before they split into 3 tribes of 4.
That's what it looked like. They were chasing the chickens, and you first thought that was Rizo, but I was like, no, it's not Rizo. That was Stephen. So, and that's when we got the whole Sage and Shannon loving each other and kiss. And
then Sage going, bleh. Yeah.
And Rizo saying, I want to instill fear in these people's
This is
hearts.
definitely before they split because is that true?
Well, it was Savannah and
Sophie B were on the beach. Looked like they were watching Rizo as he was fumbling around in the flippers and about to go out and try to spearfish something. I think that was before the split.
That was probably before the split.
Yeah.
But who knows for sure. We were trying to figure it out, but it's like, we don't know. And that's about all I wrote down. I was still caught up in what?
Yeah, with the 3 tribes of 4.
If Jeff hadn't said that, I would have thought, oh, they've merged and they just split up in 3 teams. For this challenge.
Yeah.
But no, he made a point
Of saying
to tell
new
us
tribes.
new tribes.
New game.
We got a new game. I was like, no.
Yeah, instead of Riz God, we're getting the Fizz God as he fumbles around on the beach there.
But anyway, I still enjoyed it, so...
Yeah, it wasn't completely obvious to me how it was going to go down, so there was some suspense.
Yeah, there were a lot of people that, went with the other tribe losing, and of course, I would have put Jason too if I had gone with that tribe, no doubt.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't have chosen Jawann. That would have been, in my estimation, a really stupid move.
Would have been a tactical error for sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
And I didn't think that Nate would go along with it. And he seems to have influence over the others. They seem to be okay letting him make decisions.
Right. It's not about Savannah calling all the shots. Yeah.
No, she doesn't want to stick herself out front. She wants him to do it. So,
Yeah.
But I don't think that means that you're under the radar there, Savannah. So just because you're letting Nate make the decision. But anyway, anything else you wanted to say about that? Or
No, I'm good. How about a JSFL update?
I can do that. There are now 4 people tied in first with 26 points.
Down to 4. Okay.
Yep. 13 people lost their USB. 31 people lost a safe point.
Me.
And yeah, but you just really did stupid.
Bold.
Stupid.
Bold.
That
With a B.
was so
Capital B.
You put Jason and Jawann safe.
Well, I committed to,
like I said,
Kele winning.
Stupid. Okay,
Or losing,
back to the report. Congratulations to the 86 people who earned a vote-off point this week, who will say, oh, we knew that was coming.
Yep.
Which
Even that number is a little lower, though.
Yeah, it is,
So
but
there was more uncertainty, I think. Yeah.
All right, side challengers. Rebecca in first with 26 points. And with 25, we have Anderson and Jeremiah. 23, Parker. 21, Stacy. And with 20 points, Johnny and Justin.
I'm about to be in the basement with them.
Well, you are very close.
Definitely flirting with that. Well, I'm curious to see what people are thinking about this.
And we want to know how bold you're going to go next week.
Yeah, there you go. That's the question,
as you call it. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll just have a lot of safe points at the end.
Well, we're going into the changing tribes again. What?
I want to hear what the other fans think about that, breaking back down into 3 tribes of 4. What are your thoughts on that? Would love to have you join us on the listener feedback show. The voicemail number is 206-350-1547, toll free 844-643-8737. And you can always record your own audio or write it up in an email if you're not comfortable with your voice on the show. And either Joanne or I will read it in for you. The email is joannastacyshow@gmail.com. Feedback's due noon Saturdays Eastern time, and we ask that you try to keep it in that 3-minute range. So how did your assessment of the Castaways change after this week's gameplay? Who do you think's coming out on top? Shannon or Sage? Do you think Jawann is very long for the game here? Who's impressed you the most? Who do you think's playing the best? And who's in jeopardy of being voted out next? That's going to be tricky with the tribe, with 3 going back down to 3 tribes, knowing where everybody is. They didn't quite give us enough information on that yet.
Nope. So that should, that may not be an easy choice next week.
Maybe not. We'll see. I think Rebecca said they put it out on Instagram last time what the tribes were, so that made it easier for her to choose.
Well, I don't know. I still lean toward Shannon. Wherever she ends up.
Yeah, I'm anxious to see if this is going to become anything or if it's going to fizzle out like so many of these conflicts that have been featured in the 40s seem to do. They give us a build up and then they don't deliver. So in any case, it's interesting to think about and watch it play out and how the dynamics shift back and forth at this point. Anything else?
I don't believe so.
All right. Have a good one.